Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you this lovely earring that I made. So we're going to make the second one. This is so simple. Let me enlarge this so you can see. So this is using brick stitch, and these these hoops that I got from Beebeecraft. It's interesting. I've never seen them before, so I've always wanted to do this brick stitch kind of earring, and so these ones have a hole at the top so you can attach it to your earring, and then it has a hole at the bottom, I'm guessing, so you can attach a charm like I did on this one. And what isn't this is like so me, bunny rabbit and pink. It's got to be my theme here. So let me just adjust the camera, and this is what that piece looks like on the back side. So it's been crimped to the piece of wire. I'm wondering if this piece comes out. Let me see. It does. So you could probably put some beads on here without actually doing the brick stitch. That's interesting. I just kind of noticed that because this part here is crimped right to the wire and the other one isn't. So that's interesting. So if you've used these before the way they have them, please let me know. That is interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at what you're going to need for this. And let me mention too, I have all the stuff from Beebeecraft. So this was a package that I got from Beebeecraft. You can go ahead and look at the unboxing. There was a whole bunch of stuff. This one here is 70 pieces for $5.87, and this is the bag that has this round ear wire portion, and it has, they actually have them done up with ear wires in each. So this package has the round pieces, and then it also has a Leverback ear wire. I'm not sure if that's what you call them, but these guys here. So, but I thought it would be neat. I also got some other ear wires, of course. So put that there. I also got these ear wires. They're 18 karat gold plated, and there's 20 pieces for $6.17. So that's these guys here with the heart, and I just love it. So I thought it would be perfect because I love bunny rabbits. So we got the heart and the bunny rabbit. The bunny rabbit charm I got from another store online, so you can if you need to know where I got it, just let me know. I'll give you the link. And let me think what else. Okay, so the other thing that I'm using that's from Beebeecraft from a previous collaboration is these gorgeous little crystals, and they are electroplated glass beads. It's called Pearl Luster Plated Faceted Rondelle, sandy brown, and they're 2 by 1.5, and it was 10 strands for $9. They're gorgeous. They're so gorgeous. So that is, let me show you on the earring. That is this middle, enlarge this here. This middle round is that. Then we're going to use some 3mm. I'm using Swarovski pink frosted bicones, and some 15mm gold seed beads, and some 11.0 Delica opaque pink beads. So that's what we're using. You're also going to need some small jump rings. I'm using 4mm jump rings to attach the earring to the round piece, and then the charm to the round piece. So let's move these guys over and we'll get started. So you're gonna, if you're not familiar with brick stitch, I'm new to it too, so I'm just going to do the best I can to show you how to do it. But there's tons of videos out there that are very clear cut. So I started out with Nymo thread, and I took a whole wingspan. I probably only need half of that, but it never fails when I do a video, and if I cut it in half, I always end up short. So I'm not taking a chance. So this is the thread. And in this one, I used white. I'm not sure why I used white. I wasn't thinking. I think I was just kind of playing, thinking it wouldn't turn out. And of course, look at how gorgeous this is. Oh my gosh, I love it. So sparkly. So I thought I better get the gold thread out, and I go ahead and wax it with my beeswax. That holds all the fibers together. It prevents it from knotting as well. So let's grab our ear wire, and let me tilt the camera here so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to start. I started on the right side. If you're left-handed, you might start on the left. I don't know how that works for people that are left-handed, but I'm going to start on the right, and I'm going to move around this way. So I'm just going to take my thread and tie a knot. I'm going to do 3 knots. You probably only need 2. So there. And right at this point, doesn't matter where it is on it, because we're just going to move it over. There's my third. And I'm going to clip it. I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail, but it should... I'm trying to think if I left a tail or not on the other one. We'll see how this works out. So just be careful when you're cutting it. There. So there's a bit of a tail. I'm pretty sure that will go inside the bead when I get started. So we're going to start with our delicas, and that's these ones here. So let's move. I didn't realize I had this on. Oh, here we go. I was looking at the back. Never mind. Okie dokie. So I just bring my knot to the front. This starting piece, you're going to put 2 beads on, and then after that, you're just going to do 1. So I've got 2 11-ohs. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to try and figure out a position for your hands that feels good to you. And the idea is that you kind of want to prevent the beads from slipping through the hoop. So you're always going to go from back to front, so that the threads, if there's any showing, it's going to be at the back. But in this design, it doesn't really show anyway. So take your needle, put it through. So I've got my thumb and finger that are kind of preventing. It's a very big hoop, so it's a little finicky on how to hold it. So just pull your thread through like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to get this sitting up. But I guess we'll start with putting the next thread through the first bead here. And once we do that, we'll be able to sit the other one up. So just go through the bottom of the last bead that you have on. I said first bead, but really meant the second one there. So that is the first step, and that's probably the hardest step about this stitch as far as I am concerned. So now we're just going to take 1 bead each time, put our needle through, and just position ourselves so that that bead stays in behind. Then we're going to go up through the bottom of it And when we pull tight, it's gonna snug up to the one next to it. So I'm pretty sure you can see that, but I'm gonna enlarge it just a little bit. These are small beads. And just keep doing that all the way around. So pick up an 11 Delica. Your thread's coming out of here. You're going to take your needle behind and prevent that bead. I'm just going to pull this thread out so it doesn't tangle. It gets a bit sticky because of the beeswax at the beginning, but once it starts sliding through, that stops. So hold that bead in place like that, and then go through the bottom of the bead we just added on like that. No worries if it comes out like that, because it's going to get pulled ahead. And that's good. You can see that that thread is a little more concealed than the white was. So you just keep going. And through the bottom. That one doesn't want to sit down just because the knot's there, but you won't notice that once we put all the other beads on. So keep going. And that bead went through, so let's get it back on the other side. That. I find the biggest part about this brick stitch is figuring out how to hold things. And it might just be because this hoop is a little big for our fingers. Put that finger there. It's trying to sneak through. It's a sneaky guy. There. I'm just going to hold it. And it's going to like roll in, but you just push it back. Grab it. There. And the next one. Let's see if we could try it this way. Nope. Okay, get in there. There. There's 70 pieces in that container, and I was like, great, I'm gonna do them all. I'll do it like a challenge. I can barely get through two. I mean, it's a great stitch and it's easy, but like I said, I'm sure it takes a little bit of maneuvering and practice to figure out where you want to put your fingers. But here's the other thing, it's so small that it does go faster than, say, a big project. And we'll just keep going. So I hope everybody is doing well and getting some nice weather. I know some places in Canada still have snow. I've been outside in shorts and short sleeve tops, so it's really nice. But I mean, then yesterday was really cold, so It's not quite spring yet, which I find funny because my birthday is the end of May. And even when I was a kid, I lived in Toronto. And usually you don't get a lot of snow in Toronto. I can remember around my birthday playing on the street, and there was still like pieces of ice and snow around my birthday. But the spring weather is nice here in Nova Scotia. We're lucky. We get a lot of rain in the winter and not a lot of snow, so and it's kind of crazy to think a year has gone by. Last year, the week before my birthday, I had a surgery for breast cancer. And this year, I'm having a surgery for pelvic repair and hysterectomy. And the hysterectomy was a recommendation after getting genetic testing for cancer in the family. So I'm so glad to finally have that taken care of. It's a bit scary. And I know a lot of people have stuff going on as well. Lots of subscribers are talking about hip surgeries, and I know Joni from Granny J Clay has some stomach issues that she may be looking at a surgery, which is too bad, but hopefully she'll be fine after that. So yeah, you know, I look at the demographics of this channel, so what the age group is for our channel, and I'm just amazed how specific it is, and it's all around the same age. So of course we're dealing with the same type of issues. So if you're out there and you're waiting for surgery or just had surgery, we're thinking about you. Okay. I notice I get really quiet when I'm concentrating. And look at what I did. Oh, good. That's why I concentrate. This is just the thread all wanted to go through at the same time. Let's see if we can get this straightened out here. We're almost there. It gets exciting. I'm going to fix my thread for a second here. So I just pinch it between my fingers and then drag my hand down while the needle is dangling so it spins, and then it helps prevent the knots. And my sister's coming to visit in June, so I'm so excited for that. She lives in Toronto. And she came last year after my surgery as well. It was so nice. We used to do everything together. Even when we started working and we both lived in Toronto, we would hang out after work. So we'd meet up. We used to take courses. So we would take courses like craft courses. Imagine that. So we would, the one I remember the most was a a ceramics course that we took together. And it was interesting because next door, it was a high school, and they had all these like craft courses at night. Let me just bring my thread through. My bead didn't come down all the way. So they had like different night courses. And next to us was sculpting classes, like figure sculpting. That was amazing because you know what? I'm thinking to myself, like, we didn't know anything about ceramics, and we took the course and we became, you know, pretty amazing at it, where we would go and buy all the stuff ourselves, and you bring it back to the shop and they fire it for you and stuff like that. But the sculptors, it would start out, of course you start out with the wire form, and start putting clay on there, and it didn't look like much, right? And I'm thinking, you know, I don't know how that's going to turn out. And then you're like, I should be taking that course. It was incredible, the work that these people did. So either the teacher was really good, or the people probably had some art and anatomy skills to start with, because they were pretty amazing. But yeah, that was fun doing that, taking courses. So we're almost there on this row. These Delica beads are 11/0, and they are light salmon opaque Ceylon. They are gorgeous. It was fun too with my sister, because when she was pregnant, I'd meet her after work and we'd do stuff then. So I got to, in a sense, experience it through her eyes. It was really cool because I never had kids. There. We used to get funny things. One time we were at the bank machine and we're waiting in line, and there was a young guy in a suit. He kind of reminded me of Michael J. Fox, the character in Family Matters, where he's all about money and stuff like that. So this young guy is talking to us, and he says to her, "Are you pregnant?" Like, she was big, so it's like, dude, yeah, I'm pregnant. And then he says, "You should name your child Poindexter." We're trying to be polite, and we're like, who is this guy? No, it's okay. We got the name covered. I'm sure the other people that were waiting in line were laughing too. There was a story she told me when she was taking I'm trying to think what they call them. Labor and delivery classes, I guess. So they teach you what to expect during delivery and stuff like that, and you know, and talk about nutrition and whatnot. So usually you and your partner go to that, and of course, when you're pregnant, you have gas. Not your fault. So she's gonna kill me for telling this story. She's either gonna kill me or she's gonna get a laugh out of it. I'm gonna take a chance. So anyway, the teacher asked a question, And just as she was raising her hand she raised her hand to answer the question, and the teacher said yes. And as she's opening her mouth to say the answer, she let out a big fart. So she answers the question, and then she turns to Peter and she says, that's her husband. She says, Peter, do you think they noticed that I farted? Peter's like laughing, going, yes, Sil, they noticed. So then I think she started blaming him for her gas problems, saying it was him that did it. She was telling me about a time she was waiting in line at the bank, and of course she couldn't help it. She let one out. She turns to her husband and she kind of punches him and says, oh, like this. And everybody looked at him like it was him that did it. Oh my God, they're too funny. Okay, so look. Oh, that is done. So now we're gonna go backwards and we're gonna add these little crystals. So when I was saying you go from right to left, all you have to do is flip it around, especially because we're going to be going a few times around. So now we've got our thread on our right side again. So let's grab these crystals. We should have enough, but we've got lots more. I'll just put them all close at hand. So now, since we are at the first spot, we're going to pick up 2. I think that's how it works. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to pick up 2. Okay, so we've got 2 of these crystals. We're coming out of the first delica. Now, we have to see where our thread is. So we want to take our thread bridge. So I'm going to take a thread bridge here. And put your needle through from back to front. Let's see if we get this. There we go. There. Like that. Now we want them to sit up. So we're going to go in from the bottom on the last one that we added. So the second of the 2. Find the hole. Bring your needle through. Put through. And slide like that. And that's it. So we'll just do that all the way around. Now we're going to pick up 1. We're going to go through the next thread bridge here. And through. Go from the bottom up of the one we just added. And pull your thread down. So these ones I feel go a little faster. Then next one from the back, next thread bridge, and through the bottom of the one we just added. And that. Let's see, from the back. So you guys have to tell me your funny stories of when you were pregnant. Poor husbands. They get blamed for a lot. Okay. trying to think of some stories to tell. Think about my birthday. I was about 10 years old, and I got a dog for my birthday. And what it was one of my sisters, who was a fashion designer, one of her friends, I don't know why they were giving away their dog, but they were giving away their dog. So I guess my sister must have asked my mom. My mom said, yeah, it's a great idea. And I think the dog's name was Dolly. So of course they didn't want to change the dog's name. And my mom, let me fix my thread here. It's getting a bit spinny, twisted, I guess. My mom didn't believe in naming animals people names. And her best friend's name was Dolly. So I can't remember. I think we may have changed the dog's name, which I think is not nice. But so I was so excited. I, wanted to walk this dog everywhere. The dog did not want to go anywhere. It just laid on the floor and sulked, and clearly it was depressed. So, you go from a dog, it was probably an older dog, and go from having an owner, has a certain amount of activity that you do, and then you turn around and a kid who wants to take it for a walk every 5 minutes. So the dog ended up going back to the lady. I was devastated. Absolutely devastated. I love animals. I probably should have been a vet, because I really like animals. We had lots of animals when we were kids. This looks like it's twisted here. Nope. Okay. There. So if you don't have these crystals, and I said they were 2 by 1.5, even if you did a larger crystal or a larger seed bead, you could do that in there. When I was, I don't know how old I was, but I was old enough to know better. We had, the house that we had was an old house, so there was probably cracks in the foundation and stuff. So we had mice, and my dad, okay, there's a knot. My dad used to put the old style traps, or you put a piece of cheese. We used to put cheese, but now they put peanut butter. It works a lot better. That's if you use these old style where you set them and they have like a spring reaction, and it snaps on to catch the mouse, which is not nice, not friendship. Okay, gotta go up this bead. So yeah, he had those set all over the house. I used to go and find them when there was a mouse in it, and I'd take the mouse out and I'd nurse it back to health. I would put, I'd have a shoebox under my bed, and I'd put a bunch of tissue make a little nest for it, and I'd feed it every day, and then I would set it free in the house. So, needless to say, my dad's like, he would go to the traps and they were snapped, but there was no mouse, and he couldn't figure out what was going on. So, fast forward, years later, I was in the hospital on the psychiatric ward for my bipolar disorder, and I heard on the radio, the CBC radio, which is our kind of national radio station, kind of like NPR, and the announcer of whatever show had asked, is there any secret that you haven't told your parents? And now as an adult, right? So I called from the psychiatric ward, and I told them that story. Well, lo and behold, they play the story on the radio, and I heard it, and I was so excited that they played it. So when I saw the psychiatrist that day, I said, I was on the radio. Well, of course, he thinks I'm being like grandiose and like part of my psychiatric disorder. I'm like, no, really. I was on the radio. He's like, you could have been. You were here in the hospital. I said, no, I called them. Yeah, that was funny. So that was my big secret. I was rescuing mice. We have only had one mouse in our house, and it was one day, I think I was washing the bikes and fixing the chains and stuff. So I had the bikes outside and I had the door open because I was running in and out for supplies, and a mouse got in the house. So that evening, I said to Jen, like, where are the cats? I don't see them. I haven't seen them in a while. So we start going around the house looking for them. They're in the basement, and they've cornered this mouse, and you could tell it was a field mouse. So they cornered this mouse, and they weren't doing anything with it. They were just staring at it, and they weren't very close to it, so like the mouse could have got away easily. But I thought that was hilarious. So we let that one go too. Not in the house this time, outside. And I was like, okay, you cats, you better learn how to catch mice. You got one job. No, just kidding. Their job is being cute. Yeah. We had, when we were kids, there was a couple that lived a couple of doors down from us, and we had a humane society really close, like a couple of blocks away. We're right in downtown Toronto. And so the guy worked at the Humane Society, so he often brought animals home for rehab, like raccoons and different, birds of prey and stuff like that. Just, I can't pick these guys up. There we go. But he was, of course, really good, like, about education of animals and stuff like that. So we used to go over all the time, and he'd let us feed them, and it was really cool. So yeah, I've rescued birds as a kid, and none of them ever made it. And it's probably, I didn't know what to feed them. I think I may have fed them worms, insects. But I know now that, the stress of something like that is too great. And now, too, when you rescue a bird, they do this no touch thing. So they have like gloves that are like bird gloves. So you can handle them that way. We were always doing crazy stuff like that when we were kids. But we had more leeway to do those things. I'm sure now parents would be like, what are you bringing in the house? No, 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 no. Animals live outside. Both my parents grew up on farms. So anytime we brought animals home, yeah, you can keep them. I found a guinea pig in a park in Toronto called High Park. It's a famous park right now, famous for the cherry blossoms, are in blossom right now. They had a school there, and I guess one of the guinea pigs from the school got loose, and they used to have music jamborees, and my dad played the banjo and my uncle the guitar, and so they would, Sundays we would go to High Park, and my dad would play music and we'd play and have picnics and stuff like that. And I heard some guy that was there to play music say, oh, it's right there, go check, like this. And it was under this building, I think that was part of the school. So somebody managed to get like a stick or something and hold it down, and I ran under the building and grabbed it. So I brought it over to show my mom, and I'm like, can I keep him? Can I keep him? She's like, yeah, that's okay, you can keep him. So it was a black guinea pig, and I called it Lulu, after my cousin Louise that I liked. She was so sweet to me. She was in like older grades at school, so she used to, when it rained and we'd have to have lunch inside, she'd come to our class to guard our class. And they lived across the street from us. But yeah, so I had that guinea pig for years. My dad built a big cage, and in the summer we could take the cage and put it outside in the grass, and it was well protected from any animals or anything. Yeah. I used to go to a corner grocery store and ask them if they had any, like, the leaves that they trim off of the lettuce for my guinea pig. So I would go there and he would have a whole box for me of lettuce leaves. Yeah. Okay, this is the last one of the crystal. I can find the hole. That's in here. Ta-da! So initially when I started this design, I just was going to do this and that was it. And then I thought, no, you know what? It needs more bling. Let's bling it out. So flip it over. Now we are going to do, so we don't need these anymore. Maybe move these guys over. And you're going to need your 50 nose. Now we're going to intersperse the 50 nose into like a picot and the crystals, the 3mm Swarovski crystals. If you don't have any of these, you can use rounds, you can use seed beads. So this. So what we want for this one here is we're going to pick up 3 50 nose like that, and we're going to grab the thread bridge here. Pop it into the, now we're going to go up the bottom last 50 like that. Just going to hang on to it so they don't pop up. Like that. And now we're going to pick up a crystal and a 50. That. We're going to go to the next thread bridge. You know what? I think I'm going to move it over one. It's a little scrunched. See if that works out. Because these crystals are a little big. Okay, let's go to this one here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now we're going to go through the 50 that's next to the crystal and pull tight like that. We're going to pick up, now we're going to pick up two 50 So we started with 3 here. We already have 1 here, so we only need 2. We're going to go to the next thread bridge. That. Put that in. We're going to go up through the last 50 like that. Okay. Pick up a crystal and a 50 Go through the next thread bridge. That. And pull tight. Just like that. So go 2 50 Go to the next thread bridge. And go up through that last 50 and pull tight. Crystal, 50 just 1. Go through the next thread bridge. That. And go through the 11 or sorry, 50 There. See if I can get this one moved over a little bit. There. And just continue like that. So it's 2 thread bridge through the 1. So you need 16. If you're going to do this exactly the way I've done it, you need 16. Let's see if I can get this guy up. 16 crystals for each earring. There. That. And when I'm pulling my thread, I'm pushing it over to get these crystals. So it almost looks like the crystal is coming, like the thread's coming out of the top bead next to it. So it kind of lines it up a bit. So back to my animal stories. When I was in grade 1, I think, I was really sick and I missed a lot of school. And, you know, I think when it comes to grade 1, if you miss a lot of school, sometimes they make them do it over. But other times, they know that you're going to do well in the next grade, so it's not that big a deal. So when I got my report card, I got all A's. Now I have to say the teacher that I had was was a sweetheart. She thought I was the cutest little thing ever. She used to pet my hair when I was in class and stuff like that. And yeah, she was really sweet. So my parents were really excited because they were worried that I was going to have to do grade 1 again. So they used to go to the farmers market every Saturday, the St. Lawrence Market in Toronto. And back when they used to go, like, it was still like a lot of farmers from out of town in Ontario. But so they came home from the farmers market, and my mom said, "I have a surprise for you." So her and my dad are standing there, and she shows me what's in her hand, and it was a guinea pig. And I looked at it, I was so excited. I'm like, "Thank you so much." I said, "Oh my gosh, she's pregnant." And my mom and dad just looked at each other like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's pregnant." And they thought, I was 6 years old. What did I know about animals that were pregnant? And lo and behold, she was pregnant. So one night, I remember my older siblings, so there's 9 of us kids, and they came and woke me up because my guinea pig was having her babies. And so the next morning, I think I did this wrong. Where am I here? No. Okay. It just looked like that bead was in the wrong spot. So the next morning, we're having breakfast, and I was like, I had the most amazing dream. I dreamt my guinea pig had babies. She had 2 babies like this. And my older siblings are laughing. They're going, "You're so crazy. It was real. We woke you up. She had babies." So she had two babies. Her name was Patches, and I can't remember what we named the other guinea pigs. Yeah. That's just like some of the few animals I had as a kid. We found abandoned kittens in a house, brought them home. My parents were like, "Yeah, you can keep them." As it turned out, my mom totally adopted one of them that we called Patches again. We recycle names. So you can see how easy this is. I actually like this picot design, the way it kind of sets the picot in between the crystal. I had a tree frog, had lizard, turtles, hamsters. I had probably 20 years now, just before I met Jen. I had mice as pets, and I had one that was, I called it Houdini because it would escape the cage. It was so tiny, and I did some research and found out it was what they called a dancing mouse, and it has like a neurological problem that causes them to spin around off of one leg. So they'd go in a circle like this, so they called them dancing mice. But so it was so funny, even when it would escape the cage, it would follow me around. So it never like left or anything. It knew enough that I was the one feeding it, I guess. But so my brother made. I bought an aquarium and he put a special lid, plexiglass lid, so that there was air holes and everything. Yeah, I used to sit at my desk at my computer and have the mouse on the desk, and it would just wander around picking up things and chewing on stuff and just hang out with me. I was sad when it died, but they don't. I bought it at the pet store. I was rescuing it from the pet store. It was a feeder mouse. They use them to feed snakes and lizards and stuff like that. So they were like maybe $2 or something. So yeah, I had two. Had one that I called Simon. It was a Siamese mouse. It looked exactly like a Siamese cat. It was kind of like tan color with a darker color on the ears and around the nose and stuff. So it looked just like a Siamese cat. So now the joke is when I say to Jen, we'll see something on TV or YouTube, some animal. I'm like, can we get a giraffe? She's like, Emma, we don't have any room. No, we have a big backyard. We could build a shed for the giraffe. And now she just doesn't listen to me when I say, doesn't matter what it is. I'm like, can we get a koala bear? Can we get a horse? One of these days she's going to say yes. So she doesn't know what to get me for my birthday. And kind of the rule has been she'll get me bead related stuff like the looms that I just showed you guys. It was from the for Christmas. But the deal is she doesn't get me beads because she says, get this, I have too many beads in the house. That's a bold-faced lie. You can never have too many beads. So she's still asking me, well, actually, she stopped asking me what I want for my birthday because I finally figured out I should just name a whole bunch of ridiculous things and then come out with the thing that I really want. Beads. So that's what I've been doing. She's like, oh, why did I ask you? Okay, we're almost there. This is so cute. I think I'll be doing, so I have different color rabbits. So this is the only time I ever bought a like multicolor pack of these, like a certain thing. And it was because I wasn't sure which color rabbits to get, and they come in all these different colors. So I should do earrings with the different colors. That'll be hilarious. So you can see how as you get going with this, you start to get a little quicker and more dexterous. That's just not grabbing where I want it to grab. There. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I'll tell you what she finally got me for my birthday. I almost said Christmas. That's so bad. Oh, this is really beautiful. Sparkly. Two more here. So this is strange. This one, I wonder if because back here I made it a little looser here, like I skipped one of the thread bridges. So we're going to end with a crystal. We'll see how that works out. Let's get our thread through that. Because on the other one we end with a picot. So I'll pick up a crystal. So yeah, there's a bunch of crystals left. So this was, I think they do vary in size because of how many beads you put on there. Okay, so let's grab, pay attention, Emma. Let's see if I can squeeze one in here. I may be sorry for doing that, but I don't know that it really needs it. Yeah, there could have been another. And you know what? Could be that I just, who knows? Never mind. Okay, so I am going to go through, so I'm going to go backwards through some stuff and tie a knot. So let's go. We've already gone around the thread bridge, so there's no chance that the thread's going to come off. So you can go backwards to do your knot. So let's go through the 15 and get through here. Through the 15. Oh. So I'm glad I used the whole thread because I don't have much thread left. I was going to cut it in half. So let me see if I can find the hole for the crystal and then down through. They're very tiny. It's a little hard to find the hole. There we go. Wow, that's tight. Let me grab my tools. Okay, I don't like how tight that is. Let's find another hole to go in. I worry that it's going to break the crystal. So let's go down this one. There. So I just went down the one next to it, plus the Delica, because I'm going to put my knot at the bottom and come back up. Let me. Yeah, my thread's getting all twisted here. There. Okay. I am going to just fix my thread here so it doesn't spin so much. And let's get the knot in there. So I am going to get my thread under the thread from the Delica that I'm coming out of, right here, like that. See your needle, and I'm just going to wrap it around twice and bring it really close to that needle. Pull that through, like that, and I'm going to go through the hoop and come around to the third Delica. I'm going to go up. So this way the knot is going to come around the the wire of the earring, but I'm going to pull it and it should snug it in to the delica there. Let's see if we can get that. There we go, cut that. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the earring and the rabbit. That. Let's get our tools. We've got one here. We need another pair of pliers. Let's try this one. So let's start by putting the rabbit on. So open your jump ring and twist them like that. Put this on. Determine what side you want front. So this is the back side. You can see the crimp. So let's flip this. You know what? The wire came out of that hole. Let's put that back in. And I'm gonna, when we were doing our knot, I think. There we go. Saved. Okie dokie. So again, you got to make sure that your rabbit is oriented correctly. Get your jump ring. These jump rings are super small. I kind of want them that small so that I can, so that you don't really notice them in the earring. But it's a little hard to maneuver. There, I managed to get that in there. Oh, there's a bunny rabbit in my earring. And then okay, so that's, again, we're gonna try and keep this all forward. So this is the front that way. So the earring needs to sit towards the front. So just put it on like that and close this up. Sure it's no gap there. There we go. And there we have it. Oh, these are so cute. Oh, I'm going to tell Jen, I want a bunny rabbit for my birthday. She'll be like, yeah, see those earrings? That's what you're getting. Those are so cute. Thanks for joining me, and thank you so much to Beebeecraft for this opportunity to do these lovely collaborations. These earrings are adorable. Love them. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.